My name is Shawna. I am an amp tech. I'm an author now. I sing for a band called War on Women, and I'm ordained to perform weddings. I've always loved music. My mom likes to tell a story of me dancing in my crib with MTV on in the background and MTV being my babysitter. So I always loved to listen to music and sing along and dance and put on little shows for parents or my classmates or whatever. And it was when I saw a music video with a woman playing guitar, that's when I realized I could play guitar too. I could be in a band. And the only thing I knew that I could do before then was perform like a pop star, like Janet Jackson or something, who is my end-all be-all. I went out and I bought a Bikini Kill CD, the first two records on one CD, right? I bought that album at maybe 13 years old. And I was like, this is terrible and I hate it. I was not ready for it. I did not get it. So I sold it to the cool girl in class who always wore black. And I was like, here, can I have $6 for this? And she's like, yeah. 6 months later or something, I remember being at a get together and saying, hey, do you mind if I borrow those Bikini Kill CDs? Because I wanna like burn them. Because I think I wanna listen to them now. And she was like, yeah, okay. But so at first listen, I did not get it. I did not get Bikini Kill. It was too much for me. It was overwhelming. And maybe I was still too hung up on pop music, right? But the second time when I actually sought it out and like gave it a try, I was like, whoa, they are talking about things that I've never heard anyone talk about before. How are they getting away with this? And as soon as I could start a band, I did. As soon as I found people that played instruments that were not guitar, drums, bass, whatever, then I was like, okay, this is it. We're in a band now.
The first project we were in was called Avec, A-V-E-C. That started in 2002 when she moved to Baltimore. In that band, she played guitar. She's a wicked guitar player, which I think a lot of people don't realize because she kind of fronts this band. She and I worked up some demos, and that was kind of how the band started, and that was 2010, so 9 years ago.
We got this demo in the mail, and it was like, hey, we're, thinking about signing this to a label. We really would love to work with you. Can you give us a listen? So I did, and I thought it was great. Looked them up on Facebook and saw that my sister was like the one person that was like a mutual friend. So I hit up my sister Meg, and I said, hey, have you checked out this band War on Women? Like, what do you know about them? And she was like, yeah, scroll up in your texts. So I looked at my phone, and 3 months earlier, she had said, hey, there's this band, you should check them out. I just saw them play. And probably got it late at night. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll check them out. And it didn't stick. So she's like, yeah, they're awesome. And listened to it, I was like, I would love to work with this band. And that was it.
We purposefully started a feminist post-hardcore band. That was the mission when Brooks and I started this band. We had already played in bands before, and we wanted to get back to our heavy roots. We wanted to get back to our roots of, the bands that we liked when we were really young and getting into music. And like for him, it was early Metallica, and for me, it was Bikini Kill. And we were like, let's do this.
When I was in high school, I always wanted to be in a band like Bad Brains, but I just wasn't good enough in high school, and all my bands were terrible. And so I had reached a point where I was like, I'm gonna try and write some riffs that sort of match this more direct lyric style. And instead of working so hard to be poetic about thinking about a way of phrasing something poetically, she was like, I just want to come out and say, fuck these people. Or it's okay to say, I had an abortion, and talk about your abortion.
When I started listening to War on Women, I got that feel. Like this is a very outspoken, kind of politically active band, saying a lot of things that not everyone wants to hear, but they're saying it anyways, and they don't really give a shit.
Fuck Trump! Fuck Pence! Fuck the GOP! Fuck anybody trying to tell me what to do with my body! Come and take the delivery room! G-O-3-U! I bet you eat me too. You gotta see me to die on the floor, but you can't be pro-life unless you're anti-death penalty and anti-war!
I feel like I'm working with the dead Kennedys, like now. Like I have an opportunity to work with a band that's outspoken, that has a lot of really important things to say. And it's upsetting to, a lot of people, but it needs to be said. What's more punk than that?
My version of punk, like what I grew up with as punk, was women, like scrappy women that didn't care about the noodly guitar that was famous and popular at the time, and just picking up instruments, not knowing how to play, making noise anyway, and yelling about things that mattered to them. What resonates with me is a rejection of the status quo, of saying, no, there's a better way, or speaking up for yourself and other marginalized people. That is what I connect to. That's punk to me.
I wasn't worried that she would look anything other than completely committed to this message. I think she's a great front person. She's always been a good front person. And she's passionate about what she's talking about, especially with sort of the new direction we were heading. Like, to the core of her being, she believed in this stuff. And so when you feel that way about the message, you just get up there and do it. And she's never been shy about confrontation.
There's a lot of people in music and a lot of people with big ideas. Finding people to follow through with their ideas is a lot rarer. And pretty much anything that she's kind of thrown out there as something that she wanted to do that I've been aware of, she's just done. So working with an artist like that is obviously exciting.
So, in Baltimore, we work to create a unique version of a pledge to make private spaces, not just public spaces, safe for women and LGBTQ folks to be themselves and to speak up if someone is harassing them.
I started working with Hollaback at like the same time as that War on Women started. I founded the Baltimore chapter of Hollaback the same time Brooks and I were writing those first songs. We were fucking tired of the assault on women's rights and everyone's rights. So we wanted to have a band that talked about these issues. And because I belong to this marginalized group and because I live life as a woman, I am treated like one, for better for worse, by strangers. And I was fed up with experiencing street harassment. Being a part of Hollaback gave me a reason to leave the house and to meet people and connect with them and to share stories with them and to commiserate on all the shit we deal with for being a marginalized person. So at first, it was like band, street harassment, activism. And they were kind of separate. And I was writing songs about street harassment and everything, but like being in a band was one thing, and it's something I've known and I've done for years and years and years. And activism was this new thing that I was exploring and incorporating into my life. And I just made the choice to hand Hollaback off to other folks so it could keep going. Young activists that deserve a chance to run their own shit too. And in doing that, I had to accept that I could incorporate my activism into a band. That it could be more than just playing music. That I could take a stand or say something on stage and have an impact. That what I'm doing on stage and what we are doing on stage together, to acknowledge that it is important without feeling like an imposter or feeling like it's so pretentious of me to even say that out loud, like to just acknowledge the reality of a cis woman on stage saying, I stand up for trans rights, like that will impact someone in the audience. To say, fuck racism, fuck Nazis, get the fuck out of here, that has an impact on someone.
Show of hands. Who knows what I'm talking about when I say the gender orgasm gap? Laser Wolf knows, because they fucking heard me sing about it every goddamn night. Okay, so we have some explaining to do. This song's a true story.
Do you know how much wine I've drank since the 2016 elections? Like, do you know how many boxes of Melbeck I have gone through? You don't. It's been a rough couple years.
When we went through that election, we weren't thinking about at least I wasn't thinking about the band. I was thinking about how this is going to affect people, how this is going to affect people I know, how are we going to move through this? How are we going to get through this? It was a shock, to be honest, and I see what we can do for people emotionally at our shows, and that is important to me. And just, I guess, people knowing that there's a band out there that cares about the same things they do and tries to give a voice to people's emotions that's hard to pinpoint sometimes. Or
being able to perform with War on Women and get my fucking anger out and hopefully rile some folks up in the audience and get them to do something the next day, to call someone, to donate, to house someone, to just do something, like that feels so much better. Otherwise, I would feel totally powerless in that situation. So it is an outlet for sure to be able to yell about these issues.
I mean, she's someone that, I think sets a really good example for, seeing something that isn't right, speaking out against it, addressing it, and trying to fix it.
We do talk about some serious shit sometimes. It's not all fun and games. So if you need anything, if you need a hug or a hotline number, you can go to our merch table at any point during the set. Or come to us afterwards, we'll high-five you. High-five everybody. The song is for survivors of rape and sexual assault. You're not alone. You fucking deserve it. And it's our job to fucking listen to you.
This book that she wrote, it was the thing that came to her in the middle of the night. And she wrote it because she felt like people needed to have a concise place that all these things she was thinking about could be. She's not motivated by sort of rock star-ish aspirations, And I think that's what makes her so cool, is like she has become the front person and the mouthpiece of this band and the mouthpiece of her social activity because of what she's passionate about. She's a good combination of being sort of charismatic but also very caring and friendly. And people respond to that. She also likes to have fun. You know, at the show tonight, she's going to be dancing her ass off because she enjoys that. When we play live and she goes out and meets people after shows, it is not, it's not an easy thing for her always. She could easily be like, you know what, tonight I can't deal with this. But every night she does it. That's admirable.
The thing that I get excited about working with a band like Warren Women is that they are a great example. And, you know, when Shawna is up on stage and the whole band is on stage, like, it's an opportunity to, you know, show all the women in the audience, like, and all the, you know, the younger girls in the audience, like, this is a great example that you can become this. You know, this is attainable.
We obviously cannot rely on people in power to protect us or make the world a better place. We, communities, people, tight-knit groups, we need safer spaces. We need to make them for each other. We need to have each other's backs because we cannot rely on people in power to do it for us. They are actively working against us. They're actively working to further marginalized communities. They're actively promoting hate, harassment, violence against marginalized communities. And so the wild thing is that there are more of us in all these marginalized communities than the communities that are in power, right? And so if we can stick together and have each other's back and look out for each other and do what we can to create an alternative to what's being promoted from the top down, that's the only way we're going to get through it. That's the only way that we're going to be able to stay alive in some cases, honestly, and keep organizing and resisting and get to the point where things actually change for the better again. And everyone can do something. No one should do or can do everything, but everyone can do something. And you have to. You cannot stand by and be silent anymore and hope that everyone's okay in the end. You have to make it so that everyone around you is okay.